For a lot of people out there looking for a travel credit card, the Capital One Venture X is a card that when most people get it, they wish they'd just gotten it sooner. It is considered one of the best elite credit cards for travel that comes with more of a value price than its competitors. Now, there are so many benefits out there, and you often hear about the same ones over and over with cards like the Venture X. However, this video is going to focus on the most underrated benefits that come with this card, how they compare to the competitors out there, and if you're on the fence about getting this card, some of these benefits could be so appealing to you that they help you make that decision to go Venture X. And hey, if you already have the credit card, you might be realizing that there are features available for free to you right now that you're missing out on. Now, before I get into showing you the 6 sneaky underrated benefits that this card has and how they compare to other cards on the market, I want to warn you that this is not a standard video just talking about the miles earning or converting points to travel partners to get more value. That is for a different video and a different day. If at any time you want to investigate the card more, click in the links in my description to see the sign-up bonuses and learn more about how this card compares. One of the most underrated features that comes with the Venture X is price drop protection. Price drop protection will refund you if Capital One has recommended that you go ahead and purchase a flight, and then that flight drops in price at any point in time over the next 10 days. How does this program work? It's awesome for you as a Capital One user because it runs on autopilot in the background and can guarantee you one of the lowest prices for a flight. Capital One runs different recommendation features about when the right time to buy a flight is. When Capital One says go ahead and purchase, and you book that flight, for the next 10 days it will scan that same trip and same itinerary to see if the price drops. If at any point it does, you'll be rewarded in the form of a credit on the portal for the value that that flight dropped beneath what you purchased it for. Now, I will say protection is limited to $50 a ticket, and Capital One is very specific about monitoring the exact itinerary that you booked for. They also offer what they call a price match guarantee, where within 24 hours of booking, you can actually manually research yourself and try to find a lower price out there. If you find that, you can phone into their helpline and start the process to get a credit back up to $50 for the difference in a lower price that you found. Now, we often look at features, but it's helpful to compare if any other credit cards also offer this. Across the 4 major travel portal providers, which is Citi, Capital One, American Express, and Chase, I can confidently say that there is no other similar feature that runs on autopilot in the background in any of those travel portals. That makes price match protection on Capital One a benefit that comes with Venture X that you just can't get anywhere else, and is an awesome tool that you should be utilizing every time you book travel. The second benefit that offers a ton of peace of mind is the cell phone protection plan that comes with the Capital One Venture X. So what is it? Capital One will offer up to $800 if your cell phone is damaged or stolen. How does it work? Well, this benefit again runs automatically as long as you pay for your cell phone bill monthly using your Venture X. The great thing about that is that with the 2x miles on every single purchase, you get really good value when you just pay your cell phone bill normally on the Venture X to start with. Getting this additional protection is just icing on the cake. Now, Capital One covers what they call damage, theft, or involuntary and accidental parting of your cell phone. If an incident were to happen, you may have to pay a small deductible to allow this coverage to kick in, like many typical cell phone insurances out there. However, if you have multiple cell phones, they can also be covered under this plan as well, and expanding the amount that Capital One will reimburse you in the case of anything happening. Now, looking at other elite travel credit cards, the Chase Sapphire Reserve offers nothing of the sort, while the Amex Platinum does offer almost identical terms of insurance for cell phone protection. However, you always have to remember that if you're looking at the Amex Platinum and comparing it to the Capital One Venture X, on the Amex Platinum, you're paying a $695 a year annual membership fee to hold that card. You're getting much more value from the Venture X for this benefit than you would be on the Amex Platinum. Let's talk about underrated benefit number 3, which is lounge access. And while everybody knows that the Capital One Venture X offers great lounge access, you may be interested in learning exactly how it stacks up to the other travel cards that are out there. So what is the Capital One Lounge Access program through the Venture X? The specialty of Capital One is the volume of lounges that you have access to while holding the Venture X. You get access to Capital One lounges, Plaza Premium, and Priority Pass lounges across the United States and worldwide. How does it work? Simply present your Capital One Venture X or your Priority Pass lounge access cards at the entrance to lounges, and you and 2 guests with you will get in all for free. There is no limit on the amount of times that you're able to enter a lounge throughout the year, and the only restriction is that lounges are available on a first-come, first-served basis, and some of the lounges in the networks that Capital One is partnered with can sometimes be quite busy. If you're seeking a travel credit card that can get you into lounges almost no matter where you're traveling, the Venture X should be at the top of your list. There are 3 Capital One lounges which are the nicest quality in the mixture in my opinion. The recently opened Denver Lounge, as well as the Dallas Fort Worth and the Washington Dulles Airport Lounge. Priority Pass makes up for the sheer volume of lounges, so almost no matter where you go, you'll likely have access to a Priority Pass lounge in America and often worldwide. There are 50 of these in the United States and over 1,300 if you're traveling internationally. So if you value this benefit, the lounge access, at a good bang for your buck, the Capital One Venture X is going to provide far and away the most value to you as an individual traveler. The Chase Sapphire Reserve and its $550 annual fee offer quite good lounge access with the Priority Pass lounges included as well, but like I said, the fee is quite a bit higher. And the Amex Platinum does have access to some great and very high quality lounges, but you are paying a fee that is quite exorbitant in comparison to the Venture X for those. Now, I could spend way more time on lounges, and if that's something you'd like to see, in my opinion, what the best 7 travel credit cards and their lounge access are ranked, I will leave the link to more of that up above my head right now. But for now, in this video, we're skipping on to the next underrated benefit that the Capital One Venture X offer. Benefit 4 that you really should be taking advantage of when you travel is going to deal with rental cars, and that is the Hertz Presidential Circle status. Automatically, with the Capital One Venture X, you receive President's Circle status, which for Hertz is their highest membership tier. Typically, it would take you thousands and thousands of dollars and multiple rentals to get there, but with the Venture X, you get President status automatically. How President Circle works: it includes access to the widest selection of rental vehicles, guaranteed car class upgrades on your rentals, a customer service dedicated texting line, and you can double dip here and get 50% bonus points on your Hertz rentals in their rewards membership program. Now, skipping the line and having an access to a wider selection of cars along with those free upgrades can really make the difference when you're out on the road, especially if you're renting for a long time and you just want the best quality vehicles to be able to use as you're out and about. However, I will say this is the one benefit that I don't think the Venture X has any significant advantage of over its peers in the elite credit card market. Looking at the Amex Platinum and Chase Sapphire Reserve, they each have their own individual partnerships with multiple rental car dealerships, and they're all about the same. You could get that instant top quality tier access, whatever the equivalent is in their individual partnerships to the President Circle, that will still allow you to get these same great benefits that the Venture X does. However, I always come back to the value on the Venture X, and the annual fee that you're paying is just so much less than those other 2 options, and you're always getting the same or better sneaky benefit. Benefit 5 that I personally highly recommend everybody take advantage of is the Global Entry and TSA Precheck credit. What is it and how does it work? The TSA Precheck and Global Entry programs always require an interview and an application fee to receive those status. The application fees are always under $100, and with the Venture X, you get reimbursed to up to $100 for your application fee that will be credited back to your account automatically when paid for through that card. So membership in either of these programs would be covered 100%, and your membership lasts for 5 years. Now, I value this and would recommend this to anybody holding the Venture X that doesn't currently have membership in either of those programs because of the difference it makes in the wait at airports. Statistically, 95% of travelers wait 5 minutes or less in TSA lines when they have the TSA Precheck. 99% of travelers wait less than 10 minutes in those lines. So if you've ever been stuck in an airport waiting, and in the worst case scenario, worried that you're going to miss your plane at the gate just because you're in security, that's almost never a worry with TSA Precheck. You breeze right on through. So it is worth every penny. However, with the Venture X, you get this benefit for completely free. The last sneaky benefit of the Venture X is what I will call bang for your buck. And that is just the pure value you get from this elite level card compared to other elite cards out there that are its direct competitor. In its current version, the Capital One Venture X basically pays you to hold it. Here's what I mean. For a $395 annual fee, every year you get a $300 travel credit. You also get 10,000 miles, which roughly equates to an $100 yearly bonus. When you subtract the value of that, the card pays you about $5 just for holding it annually. The only thing you have to do is make sure you're traveling at least once per year, and I recommend doing that within your normal spending habits so you're not spending any additional money just to get the value out of the card. However, when you do, you start to see the value from all of these sneaky benefits, plus the main ones that the Venture X offers. It stacks up by being $300 less than the Amex Platinum, a good deal less than the Chase Sapphire Reserve at $550. The Capital One sits right in the middle, above the Chase Sapphire Preferred with its $95 annual fee, and the Capital One Venture Rewards with its $95 fee. Now, a lot of people are tempted to go with no or low annual fee credit cards, and I recommend really looking into the Capital One Venture X and seeing if these benefits appeal to you or would make a difference in your life, because a lot of times Capital One Venture X will, like I said, pay you to hold these cards as long as you're traveling and utilizing the credits, and you can get even more value by taking advantage of these features that we talked about today, the way this card is positioned, and the value that it still offers. While many other cards cut their programs or make it more difficult to earn their credits, puts the Venture X as the best travel card, in my opinion, for most people out there. If this is you and you've been using these benefits, please let me know below down in the comments. If you're skeptical or had a bad experience trying to take advantage of one of these, I want to hear about that too and investigate a little bit more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.